we can blame this iceberg for being in the shape of a donkey.
It's a show by Chris and Neil with all great movies. They are the real deal. We watch them all, so you don't have to. It's movies that don't suck and some that do.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, listeners of all ages, welcome to a new episode of Movies Don't Suck and Some That Do. My name's Neil.
And I'm Chris.
And I'm Mark.
Mark's here, guys.
I was going to introduce you. So that's right. Mark's here again. Everybody, Mark! Woo! He even has his own little theme song now. Like, look. It's Mark!
It's so good.
Man, I will annoy you with Joy Hendry if you keep on with the clapping,
fuck
man.
out,
I'm
fine.
going to come to the screen. But anyway, so today we are reviewing two movies out there in the movie universe. The first one we are doing is Netflix's own a new rom-com. Who knew that was a thing still? Family Affair, starring the one, I guess these two want to drool over, Nicole Kidman.
This show is supposed to be about a marriage. A real marriage with real problems, like what color to paint the kitchen, or I don't know what the problems. I can't even think of them right now, but the only problems you care about are your own. No wonder the audience doesn't like this show. A witch marries a mortal. Who in their right mind would want to marry you?
Hey, excuse me, that's it. You're fired.
Doesn't matter. I quit.
That's being the Ricardos, right?
So, you better call my agent.
You don't have an agent.
Then call my cable man.
Yes, from Bewitched with Will Ferrell, a movie I never saw.
Oh, that's from Bewitched?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I thought it was being the Ricardos.
That's a good one, too.
That's what it was.
Oh, it was from Bewitched. Yeah, I was trying to do Ricardos, but then Ricardos, I couldn't find anything where it was like they cut so much in being Ricardos. It was weird.
When we did the review of that, that was one of our comments that like that and Don't Look. We did Don't Look Up and Being the Ricardos at the same time, and they fucking cut both of those movies with a weed whacker with a teenager on ADHD.
I can't have. I mean, I just snorted 2 Adderall before we came on the show, so you know that's how I keep it going. So anyway, Joey King's in the movie as well.
What's your language? You're in the presence of a princess. Where are they?
I'm not telling you anything, you bitch!
Don't make me ask again.
You're never getting out of here alive! You can't!
I warned you about that mouth.
It's from The Princess. I don't know if you saw that, Mark, but it's. I was watching Family Friendly.
It's
Where
awesome.
the fuck is she from? And that's where Neil said today. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, I know Joey King from something else, but I don't remember what without looking it up.
The Act, probably with her and Patricia Arquette, where she played Gypsy Rose, the lady that killed her mama.
No.
All right.
Bullet Train. I know her from Bullet Train.
Hey, yeah,
Bullet Train. Yes, she was one of the killers in that as well.
She's
also in this movie.
She's a voice in Despicable Me 4.
Yes. Which we'll be watching that next week.
Why don't you calm down, Neil?
Oh, she's in the dark. Oh, that's right. She's the dumbass broad in the Dark Knight Rises. She's
Well, everybody's the dumbass that was in Dark Knight Rises.
Specifically, she's the daughter of Ra's al Ghul. She's Talia al Ghul. That's where I know her from. Okay.
All right.
Zac Efron, everybody.
I know there's a big campaign with texting and driving right now. Never text and drive, everybody, viewers at home. Don't ever text and drive. I mean, is that safe, Zach? I'm to the point now where I can actually completely do it with no hands.
You can masturbate with no hands?
Yes, which is like a total legal gray area. Like, I can drive with my hands and masturbate with my knees. See, I can, like, show you. See, I'd be like, my position in the car, you know, is up here, both hands.
Are you masturbating right now?
What? I can't understand what you're saying.
We're on television. You're masturbating in front of everybody right now.
What are you talking about? My hands are up here. My hands are up here.
I know, but you just told me that you can masturbate without your hands.
You're not supposed to talk about that.
Zach!
You're done with that.
How long does it take? Are you going to finish right now? Shh, Zach. If you're just joining us, Zac Efron is masturbating with no hands, and he's about to climax.
God damn. Woohoo!
Yeah, from the interview.
Don't you love it when you go looking for like clips for movies and you're like, I didn't even remember that this existed.
I like every time you put up the penis ice float, it goes right over my head, making me even.
I think it's on purpose. I really think it's on purpose.
We can fix that. We'll fix that. All right.
There we go.
All right.
Perfect.
Dickhead to him. All right.
And also in this great, the legendary, the one, the only, Kathy Bates.
I never get mad, Miss Threadgood. Never. The way I was raised, it was bad manners. Well, I got mad, and it felt terrific. I felt like I could beat the shit out of all those punks. Excuse my language. Just beat them to a pulp. Beat them till they begged for mercy. To Wanda the Avenger. And after I wipe out all the punks of this world, I'll take on the wife beaters like Frank Bennett and machine gun their genitals. To Wanda will go on the rampage. I'll put tiny little bombs in Penthouse and Playboy so they'll explode when you open them. And I'll ban all fashion models weigh less than 130 pounds.
It's from Fried Green Tomatoes.
Orlando! Huh?
Fried Green Tomatoes, right?
That was what. Yeah, dude. I used to own that on VHS when I was a kid.
I feel like
people
you
wonder
have.
I was fucked up. Like literally, why did they give like a 5-year-old that movie to watch? I have no idea why that was the movie.
When I was 5, I saw Blame It on Rio. I mean, parenting in the 80s was a very different thing.
Yeah, that's a whole different. That's a whole different.
Is he trying to have sex with a teenager? Oh my! Dad, why are we watching this? Because it's fun, son. No, shut up and watch.
Now watch it, son, and enjoy. Learn from it. All right, and that's all. That's some of the cast from A Family Affair. There's a few others like Lizzie Cushy was like a big person, and Ian Gregg, so much like that. But then the movie that Chris has been waiting for his entire life. He's made out with the poster several times. At least that he's told me.
Sounds right.
Right?
Several times? Yeah. Several
All
times.
right.
That we got kicked out.
Several times.
Yeah.
Okay. and that would be the one and only MaXXXine, featuring Chris's favorite woman ever to be married to his favorite actor ever.
No, I'm not ready.
Mia Goth.
You're gonna rot when people find out what you've done.
The time is now. For if we do not take control of our own fate, the Lord shall do it for us.
You think I know who you really are? I saw what you did in the barn. You deviant little whore. Insane. Wanda just like me.
Time to turn our backs on sin and make the
I'm nothing like you.
once and for all.
You're a kidnapping, murdering sex fiend. I'm a fucking star. The whole world is gonna know my name.
Say it with me now.
I will not accept a life I do not
I
deserve.
do not deserve.
Yeah, from X. So.
X. That was Chris's first porn video for a decade.
For a decade.
He loved that part. He
You
loved
already
Top 5
when preachers.
Top 5 movie of 2022 by far. X.
Oh yeah. Well, easy. Oh, that's
Also in this movie is Giancarlo Esposito.
Giancarlo Esposito.
That's what I said, fucker.
I have created the next generation Dark Trooper suit, forged from Beskar alloy. And the most impressive improvement is that it has me in it. You see, every society has something to offer. The cloners, the Jedi, and even the Mandalorians. By aggregating the best of each, I will create an army that will bring order to the galaxy.
Well, you made the nerds happy.
Yeah, from Mandalorian, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Also in this movie is Elizabeth Debicki.
Well, it was touching, really. I'd never seen a girl so in love with her husband. A week later, Tom crashed his car. The girl with him was a chambermaid at the Santa Barbara Hotel. It got into all the papers.
It's a strange coincidence.
What is?
The fact that Gatsby's house is just across the bay.
It's no coincidence. He bought that house to be near her. He threw all those parties hoping she'd wander in one night. He constantly asked about Daisy. I was just the first person that knew her.
Really great Gatsby.
You know, my son's a genius and why he's going to be the future leader of us all.
I'm hoping why.
I showed him The Great Gatsby by Baz Luhrmann starring Leonardo DiCaprio and Elizabeth Debicki.
Yeah.
And he was like, this movie is fantastic. Like, it's a talking movie. It's probably not a movie for someone my age, but I can tell this movie is amazing. And I said, you're a good boy, son.
All right. Also in this movie is Yuli Latufu.
I'm your son, and you're gonna train me. What you think you got to offer? I don't know. Maybe I'll suck, but I'm giving this a shot.
You're not going to suck. You're going to make it. This is your calling.
You say you won't train my grandson? I'm getting my stepping gloves.
If you don't train me, I'll find someone else. Either way, I'm doing this. So you gonna help me or not? Okay. I'll train you. You will?
Oh, good. Don't have to use these.
But this is gonna be the hardest thing you've ever done. All that football training is gonna be a walk in the park compared to the pain I'm gonna put you through. I'm ready. Start right now if you want to.
From Young Rock, right? Right?
From Young Rock, yeah.
Oh, that show was
Rocky. That show was amazing.
That show was terrible.
That show was amazing. Don't ever diss anything The Rock.
Your rule that anything tangentially wrestling related is awesome is null and void.
Right,
no, that's not true. It's just me and all the wrestling guys, the pro wrestlers. Oh, I forgot. You're a fan. You've never taken a bump. All right.
You calm the fuck down, dude.
Whoa.
Fucking gatekeeper over here.
I trained XPW. I've been put through tables and hit with chairs. Thank you very much.
I know. I'm just fucking. That's not true, everybody. Mark has trained. I just like to bust his balls. And then
I trained in the same. Hang on. I trained in the same wrestling room they shot a gangbang with Christy Miston. Top that story, motherfucker.
I trained in the same ring that CM Punk and AJ Styles did.
Sorry, gangbang with Christy Miss Tops.
I know. But last but not least, the man, the legend, the guy that seems to be in every movie every week this year, Mr. Kevin Bacon.
I decided that when someone is as smart and as driven as you are, and incredibly beautiful, that it makes the rest of us very nervous.
Why'd you change your mind?
Because I'm the skeptic. I'm the control in this experiment. I should go next. Look, if there's nothing out there, then I am not going to convince myself that there isn't, and there's no reason for us to go any further.
Okay, but how do you explain the similarity in death experiences all over the world? People from different cultures and religions all seeing the same things in the same order.
I don't know. Maybe there's some chemical or a hormone released from the brain at the time of death that makes it more palatable to us.
From Flatliners.
So first we're going to be doing so first we're doing the Family Affair movie.
A different one.
And
different one. Yeah, that's a different one.
Oh, wait a minute. Family Affair.
Not that one either.
Yep.
A Family Affair.
Yep.
Yeah, that's the one we got.
A Family Affair. Oh, wait a minute. Family Affair?
No.
What's funny is that I legitimately had to
Family
ask him
Affair.
which one we were doing.
Like there are so many. When I went to go looking for the posters there and all the information and stuff like that, there are so many Family Affairs. It took me I had to scroll halfway down pages.
It's an awful name. But you know what? I mean, there are.
Well, the thing was like when I asked him, "What are we doing for this?" He was like, "Besides MaXXXine," he was like, "A family affair," and I'm like, "What's that?" He's like, "Oh, it's on Netflix," and I go to see what it is. I'm like, does he mean this one? Because it's like 87 of these.
Yeah, I know, right? I know. We'll talk about that in a second. Chris, tell everybody where we're at.
You can find us online at moviesdon'tsuck.net. We're at facebook.com/moviesdon'tsuck podcast. We're on X and MTS Podcast, and Instagram MTS Podcast. We have patreon.com/moviesdon'tsuck. We're on Bonfire. Search Movies Don't Suck and Something to Do. You'll find us there. You also find us on YouTube at Movies Don't Suck Podcast. Find us anywhere from podcast. You find Movies Don't Suck and Something to Do. Neil, who are we talking about today?
Talking about doing your mom. Doing your mom. You know, we're straight up doing your mom. No, okay.
One of these days he's gonna do that, and then 3 seconds later you're gonna leave your screen, and suddenly he's gonna get stabbed in the back. Where did you come from? I was in the house the whole time.
Anyway, so today I figured just because this weekend I am going to go be meeting John Gallagher and Diane. Oh, that's why the page messed up, and I couldn't. You know, this is just the week we're having. This is just the week. Diane Goldner from The Collector, Feast movies and stuff like that. I'll be hanging out with them this weekend at the Cinema Circle Film Festival. If the fucking thing will load. That's not what I uploaded. There you go. Circle Cinema Film Festival, which is July 11th to 15th in Tulsa, Oklahoma at the Circle Center. Circle Center's in Indianapolis. That's a whole thing. I am just effing up left and right today.
Really?
Circle Cinema in Tulsa, Oklahoma. They'll have all kinds of movies there. So it is 96 years of how long this theater has been around. It's going to be a bunch of movies being shown. Local talent is going to be, well, now here in Tulsa, we actually have, I didn't know this until just recently. Look at this. We actually have a Walk of Fame. That is actually cinema people that have worked in cinema that came from the state of Oklahoma. They'll be rewarding 2 more people this year. Plaques and everything. I had everything set up, and for some reason it all went down when I restarted. Samantha Arslan and Joe Shears will be getting joining the Walk of Fame in front of Circle Cinema Film Festival this year. Also, there's just a bunch of films they got lined up. The one I am going to is 7 Cemeteries, which John Gallagher and Diane Goldner have produced and been a part of. There's even they even set up a little red carpet that you can go take photos at and stuff like that. It's a great little cinema. If you guys all you have to do is go to circlecinema.org to find out more information. There are still tickets available for some of the shows, but some of them have sold out. But hurry up, go get your tickets, go be a part. I don't know why I put the popcorn bar on there. They're like, what the heck, dude?
Here's a picture of my mom, and
here's a picture of my mom. Here's a picture of this. There's a picture of that. But Circle Cinema, please go support local cinema. Go support your local cinema. Remember, that's how we go see movies, that's how
it's like Tulsa Screenland. So.
Yes, at this point it is, and I think I'm going to try to help them make it a little bit better. I really think afterwards I'm going to the after party after the cinema. I guess we're going to the Mayo, which is like this expensive restaurant bar place that I'm going to get to go to and hang out with these celebrities and stuff like that. And no, this is just somebody asked me, Mark. This was not because of that rich friend. Someone's like, buy tickets for this and I'll take it all this. And I'm like, okay. And so so I'm going to try to see if I can get them involved with us, get them involved with you guys, and see if I can get involved with maybe helping out with our friends, because I have been talking to Adam from Panic Fest and see if we could kind of get a crossover going on. Adam Roberts from Panic Fest was a really cool dude. We talked it out the other day. So yay, film festivals. Mark, how many film festivals do you go to?
None, Neil.
You lazy bastard. I'm just kidding. Talking about lazy bastards, let's talk about Zac Efron. Here's Family Affair.
Family Affair, directed by Richard Lagravnis. He's directed things such as, Behind the Candelabra. You guys remember that one? Beautiful Creatures. This stars Nicole Kidman as Brooke Harwood.
This show is supposed to be about a marriage.
Zac Efron as Chris Cole.
I know there's a big campaign with texting and driving right now. Never text and drive.
Joey King is Zara Ford.
What's your language?
Kathy Bates is Leela Ford.
I never get mad, Miss Threadgood.
Also, Lisa Koshy plays Eugenie. Wes Jen plays Emmanuel. And that's really all the fuck. I guess Sherry Cola plays Stella. Neil, what's the storyline for A Family Affair?
A surprising romance. What?
I was gonna say you're never ready for it.
You asked me a question. What's going on today, guys?
Move faster, Neil.
Move faster. How dare you take more than 2 seconds to scroll down the page?
Oh, fuck, stop wasting everybody's time. That was 2 seconds too long.
Fuck!
All right, go ahead.
Anyway. A surprising romance kicks off comic. I can't even read now.
Read the description, sub.
A surprising romance kicks off comedic consequences for a young woman, her mother, and her movie star boss as they face the complications of love, sex, and identity.
Can we just say that Nicole Kidman's still fucking banging, dude?
Yeah, no.
You guys in here, you're like every time.
I'm gonna cut this right off. I'm gonna cut this right off right now. You would not kick Nicole. If Nicole climbed on your cock, you would not kick her out of the bed. You lying sack of shit. There's no way you're gonna.
Yeah, I would. I'm married. Why would I cheat on my wife?
There's no way you're throwing Nicole Kidman out of the bed. Get the fuck out of here, you heteronormative person. You.
I'm just kidding.
So. When I was like, I want to come on again next week. I'm sorry to be the guest that won't leave, but I really want to talk about MaXXXine, and we're not going to get to it. Damn you, Hollywood! I'm not even going to get to it at all until like later on in the year. I'm going to do the whole X trilogy again.
Oh wow.
So when he was like, okay, well, we're also doing A Family Affair, and I'm like, look, I don't do rom-coms.
We don't either. That's why I grabbed it. I was like, hey, let's do something different.
Yeah. And no doubt. And I figured, okay, well, I want to stretch my muscles as a reviewer, so let me give this a shot. And let me tell you what an emotional roller coaster this movie took me on, because it starts off as interminable and just exhausting. And I was mad at Chris for making me watch it.
I chose this.
Okay, well, I didn't know that. So I was absolutely projecting all my anger on Chris. I was like, this is normally the one I'm like protecting from Neil's bullying. But midway through this movie, I'm just like, fuck this whole podcast. I can't do this. And then here's where the movie won me over. So the Joey King character is insufferable. She's just the worst. But she's insufferable in a way that is very relatable to it, not for old fucking people like me from the 80s where good people were born. I mean like millennials, zennials, Gen fucking
Alpha, yeah.
Gen Alpha fucking alien people who use words like woke and all of that. All of you youngsters with your long hair and your rock and roll and your fucking asexualism. So listen, that is a very relatable character for those people. And I have to remember, I'm not the only person on this planet. And so a lot of my just general like frustration with this movie was her as a terrible person. But where the movie is successful is the movie knows that. The movie knows she's awful. The movie wants you to know she's awful because she goes on this really great journey and has an arc. And at the end of it, at just the right point where you were about ready to jump through your screen and beat the living shit out of her, she changes.
Yeah.
And she realizes she done fucked up and she tries to make amends and she fixes it and she's a better person by the end of the movie. Look, I'm not gonna knock solid writing.
Yeah.
I mean, is this the Shawshank Redemption? No. But this was a solid script. Zac Efron and Nicole Kidman actually have some pretty good sexual chemistry. Zac Efron.
Well, I mean, you got two sexy bastards going at it. I mean, you just like you guys said, I wouldn't throw Nicole Kidman out of bed, just like you guys wouldn't kick out Zac Efron.
Neither would you.
I'm not saying I wouldn't. I'm not.
I meant to say that. Like, I was surprised you didn't pull a clip from the Iron Claw. For,
I was going to.
So Zac Efron.
Then I saw that clip.
Okay, that's a funny clip. So real quick, and then I'll turn it over to you guys. Zac Efron and Nicole Kidman have really good chemistry together. Part of the reason why this works, aside from the fact that Joey King goes on a very relatable journey and becomes a better person by the end of the movie, which is fine, which is what you want in these things. Zac Efron has an earnestness about him. That character could have been written so awful and so shrill and to the point where you don't want to cheer for him. Mm-hmm. But he's played. I like the fact that they played with he said something in the movie that I thought was really interesting. He was like, I was nobody and then I was somebody and there was nothing in between. At 19, I became this other thing and nobody cared who I was after that. So I was just the star. I think I really keyed into that because I've studied over the years, like the idea of like celebrity bubbles and yes men and all of that. And you can really have a skewed perspective on life when you have so much money and so much fame that you can surround yourself with people who give you a skewed perspective on the rest of the world. That's why a lot of celebrities struggle with social media. Suddenly they were putting their unchallenged thoughts into the world and everyone went, you're all retarded. And they're like, oh, no. Like Leslie Jones is like setting Twitter on fire. Like, I can't handle it. Well, sorry, you're dumb. We can't. Sorry about that, but I like the fact that he plays the character as somebody who maybe we don't relate to we've all had that experience of being that kind of celebrity, right. But I think we've all can relate to, somebody who is struggling with their identity, somebody who's struggling with finding relationships that are real and solid and fumbling them. I liked his journey too. When he starts talking about, I was going to break up with your mom because it was too real and I got scared. I was like, yeah, I could relate to that. Sure. Mm-hmm. That made sense to me. And Nicole Kidman, she's a solid foundation in this movie. She plays the character with a lot of earnest too. I would say she's the only one that of the three leads, she's not not that she's the weakest in the sense that she's bad, but she's just a rock solid foundation with no arc. Like she's the same as she was at the beginning of the movie.
She was.
Right.
I do want to say
I don't agree with that completely because she's
I was about to backtrack it, but I don't want to take over the whole podcast. Go ahead.
Yeah. But I'll go with you on most of what you're saying, but like Nicole Kidman went from I'm never dating anybody. I'm just the mama.
That's where she changes. Yes.
Yeah. And then Zac Efron comes up and goes, look at me. And she's like, yes.
All of your problems can be solved with my penis. And she's like, you're right, Zac Efron.
You are totally right about that.
So when it comes to the storyline, this movie, it's pretty simple. Like you kind of seen it in other places before, but I do think it's interesting that it does play an identity more than what you would think it would. I was fine with it. Like I didn't hate it at any point, and it actually got better than me as we moved on because you're supposed to also not like the Chris Cole character, and you sort of once you see what he's doing for Nicole Kidman's character, you kind of like, oh okay, like you sort of
when he shows himself to be vulnerable, then he becomes someone you want to cheer.
Yeah, and then Joey King character the whole time he said was insufferable, and then at the end, you're like, okay, yeah. But like,
my mom.
This is not something that
she's such an entitled fucking brat that she is, but she makes the change at the end. So all.
But and I would like to say this: I watched a lot of interviews while I get this stuff ready and all these facts and stuff like that. I think Joey King might just kind of be a bitch. I'm not trying to be mean or anything, and I'm not saying it's a bad I'm not saying like she's like the worst person on the planet Earth, but she seems kind of insufferable in person, kind of like what's that girl's name from Stranger Things, Millie Bobby Brown. Okay,
on a 1 through 10, 10 being Rachel Ziegler before she was reconditioned by Disney, where is she on that scale?
Probably it seems like right around about like a 7. like
Ooh.
go watch the video of her and I can't remember who she ate hot ones with, but she did the hot ones, but it was like they did questions back and forth while they're eating the wings and stuff like that. And she was kind of an asshole to the girl. I was kind of like, that's mean what you're saying.
Can you imagine being someone's like manager these days and having to deal with one, those kinds of people, and two, having to then navigate social media, because you are literally putting out fires as everything is spontaneously combusting around you with these idiots.
That's so interesting. That Joe King also played that type of person. Like was managing Chris Cole and that.
Yeah, irony of all ironies. He's like I'm managing myself actually. But it's just funny to me because 20, 30 years ago, before social media, you could contain this. Your asshole celebrity who doesn't know when to shut his mouth. You can manage them. They only talk in interviews, and those interviews are tightly managed. Their whole public profile is exquisitely managed, and now you can't. And now it's just like, I can't control this fast enough because you're so dumb and you say too much and there's too many outlets to hear you. My job is impossible.
This movie is not going to challenge you. I mean, in a way that it's not going to make you think in a way that's uncomfortable for some people. It might challenge you the way if you hate these characters, like Mark did for the first 2/3 of the movie. But
no, I honestly think if you're like a middle to upper middle class white person, especially a female, you'll probably love this movie. This movie is highly relatable.
This is definitely the at home mommy, Hallmark Channel, Lifetime Channel kind of movie, but a little bit better. The acting was better. Yeah, the filming was better. Doesn't have that grainy weirdness that freaking Lifetime films have.
It's pleasant and easy to watch. Like my mom.
Absolutely.
My mom would love this. She'd be drinking the bottle of wine while watching this movie. Go, Chris, have you seen the film? I'm like, yeah, I have. But,
I mean, I drank a bottle of wine, was eating sushi, and smoking a fat blunt while I did it, and had a good time.
Nobody questions your inner woman, though, Neil. That's we all know that.
Hey, everybody knows that. I'm every woman.
Listen, if you're the kind of girl who couldn't sit through The Dark Knight, you'll love this movie.
If you're the kind of person that realizes that Christopher Nolan sucks, you'll love this movie.
Did you guys do the Lindsay Lohan St. Patrick's Day movie that came out a few?
We actually,
no, he wouldn't allow it. He wouldn't allow it. I wanted St. Patty's Day. I wanted the St. Patty's movie, but he's like, no. I was like, so we can do Christmas movies, we can do a New Year's movie, but we can't do my fucking holiday.
I don't remember this
what was your rationale, Chris? What was the reason you didn't do that particular one?
I don't even fucking remember.
And I was just doing it to torture him, to be honest.
I torture Neil enough when it comes to movies. Like before Neil met me, it was all superhero movies. And then
oh, bullshit.
I'm sorry. It was all superhero and Star Wars before it was me.
Whoa.
I don't doubt it.
I saw Clerks in the theater, bro.
My God, that's your go-to.
I saw Blair Witch Project in the theater.
I did too.
You're not helping your case. Sorry.
Yeah, I saw The Witch in theaters, fucker. So
I saw Beverly Hills Ninja.
Did you, brother?
Yeah. Did you? Okay, you guys ready to give Neil? I'll give my score.
Yeah, what's your score, Chris? You go first.
It's like a 3.4. It's fine. It's whatever.
Yeah, it's like a 3. I agree. It's like a 3.3, 3.4. It's just. It was fine. It wasn't the worst romantic comedy. It wasn't like 10 Ways to Lose a Guy or anything like that.
It's not the reason I watch movies. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, it was when you were younger because you jerked off to a lot of Cinemax, I heard.
I mean, I probably did. I don't remember. But...
Let me get between you two yet again. This movie was perfectly serviceable. Like I said, I know people who they don't want to be challenged by movies. They want to put on something light and frothy. This is the froth on top of your Starbucks. It is absolutely unchallenging, but wildly entertaining. And look, as I said at the top of my review, it's a solid script. There's really not a whole lot wrong with it. It hits all the right pitches where it's supposed to. It is a crowd pleaser, and not every movie again has to be challenging or has to be high art. Something can just be fun for the average girl.
Yeah, and like of course us three white old men, this wasn't made for us, and it doesn't have to be, but it was. I didn't find myself hating my life while watching this. I was fine.
But you know who it was made for, though, right?
Joe
Hendry.
Yeah. Joe Hendry.
One last thing is I keep saying, "Oh, this is for girls. This is for girls." When the girl makes the boyfriend or the husband or partner or whatever sit down and watch a rom-com with them, this is not the one that's going to make him throw himself Cowardly Lion style through the fucking window.
Real quick,
yes.
Were you guys jarred by how cut he was when Nicole Kidman ripped his shirt off?
No, it's
no, because we saw him in the Iron Curtain.
He just got done with Iron Claw, bro.
Yes, Iron Claw.
I was like, Jesus, fuck.
The dude is cut.
So
I haven't seen a guy like chiseled out of fucking granite like that since a Greek god.
So, did you guys notice his chin has changed?
Chris Hemsworth. Don't forget about Chris Hemsworth. Chris Hemsworth's right up there with that.
Depends on what movie, but you guys remember his jaw changed shape because he broke his jaw. You guys know that?
I have been told, yes.
Why do you think I have facial hair?
If you think I pay that close attention to Zac Efron's facial features, you are sadly mistaken.
Yeah.
All right.
Why do you think I have facial hair, man? I broke my jaw, and that's why I grew facial hair.
I grew facial hair because I'm too lazy to shave. So I'm on NordTomatos.com right now. Neil, what's the audience score for Family Affair?
Audience score is easily 68%.
30%.
30?
Yeah. All right, Neil. What's the critic score for A Family Affair?
I don't know. I'm thrown off by everything in the world now.
That's crazy.
48.
It's 39%.
48.
39.
Wow. What the fuck, man? This was. We liked it better than the fucking critics said.
Because we're looking at it objectively. We're not basing our objective criticism on our subjective opinions.
Yeah, what art constitutes too. So,
so what you want?
Critics' consensus is, despite Zac Efron and Nicole Kidman's welcome return to rom-com territory, A Family Affair squabbles with its own tonality, too much to elevate its litany of cliches. I want to read a bad review and a good review.
Keep reading. I would like to keep mouthing Beastie Boys.
Please do. This is from Donahan Klein of We're Watching What? She says, offers nothing but a story that's paint by numbers but with dried up, crusty paint. Given the little talent involved, the lack of charm and chemistry results in background watch at best. And this good one is from Sefri Zacharik of Time Magazine, a top critic. She says, she goes, that's Hollywood for you, and this is, after all, a film that takes place unapologetically in a land of fantasy. When it sparkles, which is often, it's perfectly enjoyable.
Let me say this. I can do this in 10 words or less. One of the things Robert and I have noticed is that these days, with the tenor of what's going on in this country,
you're done. You're done.
Up. We have very little patience for Hollywood self-celebratory movies.
Yes.
And so a movie that deals with, a person working in Hollywood and an actor and a writer, and people are just like, fuck these people. 20, 30 years ago, you can get away with that. And everyone's like, look at these wonderful people that we aspire to be. Now, like, nobody aspires to be a Hollywood actor or work in Hollywood. People are trying to burn Hollywood the fuck down.
Neil freaked out for a second. He's like, he's not getting canceled.
I mean, I'll try.
And then we
got to do the news. We're already 45 minutes in, motherfuckers.
I have all the time in the world, man.
I don't. I got places to be. This is the Movies Don't Suck and Some of Them News. I'm going to read shit. They're going to listen to it because that's the bottom line, and I said so.
Okay, Daddy.
Hey, did you guys go see Horizon in the theater?
No.
Kevin Costner.
No one else did either.
Yeah, no one else did either. And so badly, It's all canceled. Horizon 2 will not be released in the theater. Part 1 did so badly.
How bad was it?
That not even any streaming network is wanting to pick them up. That's how bad it was.
I heard the first one was coming on Max, and they're hoping that people like you and me, which won't, but we're going to go see Horizon Chapter 1, 3-hour movie that looks as boring as it probably is. And I mean, I'm sure Kevin Costner thought that he's in that fucking show Yellowstone. He thought that people would be like, well, this is kind of like Yellowstone. I've never seen Yellowstone, so I can't say. But the people that he's targeting are people that are.
If you want to talk more about this, yeah, let's keep talking about this. I have nothing cool next.
Wow.
I'll see you guys later.
At what point did he become way passive aggressive with you?
It's all
when
the time.
in the years you've been okay?
It's when I speak for more than 15 seconds. He gets all pissed off.
let me throw this out there, and then he can go on to his next fucking precious segment. Jesus. So the consensus among my brats and subs that I podcast with was this should have been a mini series to start with.
Mm-hmm.
Like this should have gone straight. This was a straight to Max series. This should have never been put in theaters.
Mm-hmm.
The one person I know that did see this in Oklahoma, and that says something if not a lot of people are watching this in Oklahoma. All right. They said that, yeah, this should have been a mini series. It should have been like Yellowstone. This should not have been anything just like a movie. All right. You ready, Chris? Because I know you love directors.
I do.
You're a big fan of the directors. So let's give you the entire director list of the new VHS movie coming out on October 6th. All right. So we already know Jordan Downey, Christian Long, Justin Long, Justin Martinez, Virtual Pal, and for the first time ever as a director, Kate Slagle's going to be directing. Yeah, Peggy Bundy is going to be directing a horror movie.
Good for her.
So you said Justin Long is going to direct a horror film?
Justin Long as well.
Okay,
yes.
I'm interested in seeing what the fuck he does. I mean, like
we love VHS. Every year every time they pop a VHS out.
Yeah. Depends.
Sorry, we must be overlapping again. Sorry, go ahead, Chris.
I wasn't overlapping. I was affirming what you're saying about VHS.
What you were saying? I'm sorry, I interrupted you. I noticed that there's no. All right, this obviously fucking things up. Give it a second. We're just gonna reload. That's all we can.
Yeah, wait for Neil to talk and just fucking silence the whole time.
I feel like there was no lag there, and you were communicating, and he was just like, "Wait, what are you saying?"
Yeah, yeah.
And when I pull up, it happens all the time when I pull up all the news segments.
Yeah.
Like a bunch of websites and stuff. So I'll just pull up one at a time.
Let's move on.
Inside Out 2, which we reviewed, is now the #1 movie for Pixar ever. Ever.
Okay. Sorry.
This month in the theaters, it has now reached $1.251 billion at the theater.
People are starving for familiar, safe, and non-threatening. And Inside Out 2, as did Despicable Me 4, which is also going to make $1 billion, hit those pitches with a plum. So we talked at length in our Inside Out 2 review on Damn You Hollywood, you can check on the W2M network under Radulich and Broadcasting. that Pixar between COVID and inclusion, I'm just trying to say this nicely, COVID, inclusion, and several other factors, they fucking lost their audience. And it ended with a giant explosion that was Lightyear. They lost everybody. And then nobody trusted them when Elemental came out. So Elemental didn't have a great opening weekend. But the true story behind Elemental was over the course of weeks and months, and as it got released in other territories, it did make money. It just didn't do it in its first weekend, so no one paid attention to it. But the canary in the coal mine with Elemental was that because it was inoffensive, non-threatening, safe, not gay, families took to it, and they're like, finally, a Pixar movie I can bring my kids to. So that way, a year later, when Inside Out 2 comes out, and now Inside Out, the first one did over $1 billion. Familiar characters, stories people liked. It was highly relatable. And trust was starting to be built back after Elemental. Voila, Lobster. You have yourself a, you know, and the thing
$1 billion movie.
It's not bad either. I like that movie.
It's fine. It felt like an episode of the Inside Out show, but you know, check out my review where I went into all that. My point is, it made $1 billion. The lesson they're going to take from this isn't the right one. The lesson they're going to take from this is more sequel mania. Toy Story 5, Nemo 3, you know, Incredibles 4, whatever the fuck numbers we're up to. And it's like, that's not really the lesson here. The lesson is don't do what you did with Onward, Luca, Lightyear, you know, don't Soul. I would love to see Pixar return to Prestige Pictures, but they're not there yet, and their audience is not with them.
Mm-hmm.
So I think you're going to get a lot more like Inside Out 2 for a little while before they're brave enough to try a Prestige picture like Soul again. Which, by the way, don't get me wrong, Soul was phenomenal and had the nichest of niche audiences in the middle of COVID when no movies were in theaters.
Yeah, I remember watching that and Wonder Woman. So
yeah.
And right on that note, Mark, let's talk about Shrek 5, which will now be released on July 1st of 2026. Let's also talk about The Adventures of Priscilla, Queen of the Desert 2 is in progress.
We only need to do this once.
The cult classic film strongly showcase LGBTQ plus representation, highlighting unity. But Guy Pearce has discussed that they are working on a script.
No, Guy Pearce, you're 100. That movie worked 50 years ago when it came out. Stop doing this. What the hell?
Conjuring 4 gets a release date of October 2025. So we're getting Conjuring 4. Let's see what else is here. Oh, talking about another movie that we're getting a sequel of. Men in Black is getting a sequel.
Give it up, man. Just give it up. Give it up.
2025.
Give it up.
Let's see. I knew there's another sequel somewhere around here.
The last one bombed.
Yeah.
I know. That's why they're doing it. Oh, Minions 3 has now been issued that it'll be coming out in 2027.
Yeah, let's call it by its real name, Mega Minions 3.
What's it do with boomers and minions, by the way? My mom was a minion, so I'm like...
Despicable. Oh, wait, 1 second. And then Despicable Me Part 5 is already got a script and they're in the works.
I can't knock the hustle. Like there's a couple on that list where I'm just like, fuck me running. Why are we doing this? And then there's some on there where I'm like,
oh, did I say Devil Wears Prada?
What?
Are you kidding me?
No, you're fucking around, right?
Devil Wears Prada Part 2 is
no. Why are they doing that?
With Blunt, Streep, and Penelope all
we
returning.
don't need it. You're fucking with me, right? That's not happening, is it?
No, yeah, it's right now. It's here. It's on Screen Rant. It's on Hollywood.
I hope there's another strike. I hope please let Hollywood go all in on artificial intelligence and everyone strikes again.
Everybody dies.
So Mark, what were your thoughts on the Despicable Me movies? Do you like them?
I'll give you the short version of what I said on the review. Mm-hmm. I think it's a solid franchise. I think the Minions movies, especially the first one that deals with like the search for God and a higher purpose, believe it or not. And like that's not a joke. That's really what the movie's about. I think they're great. I mean, I think they're very funny. They keep putting them up against Inside Out, and so I keep having this argument with Robert about like, but Inside Out's a much better made movie. And he was like, yes, but Looney Tunes. Like, oh, fuck me, you're not wrong.
Looney Tunes.
But yeah, no, the Despicable Me and Minions are one of those rare gems where they're solid. They respect their audiences. Their audiences are there for them, and it's it's great. I can't knock things that are legitimately nice and wonderful.
Kung Fu Panda, the same vein for you,
right?
Again, I didn't want to review the new Kung Fu Panda. I got forced into it by the children I work with. but I have to say, it's a crowd-pleasing, inoffensive, nice family, action-oriented cartoon. Nobody has any problems with it. People love it, and I can't knock the hustle.
Okay. Because I have not seen those movies, and I don't know if I may have you forced me to, but I keep telling people, it's like, Chris, you'll like these movies, and maybe I will. but I just don't have the time for that. We'll see what happens.
They're solid. I mean, like if you have children, you can watch them with, so you're not a fucking weirdo. By all means. I mean, like you have to have like nephews or some shit.
Yeah.
Chris is a fucking weirdo, so that's awesome. You said that.
Okay, Phil. If you want to go to the movies with your trench coat and watch the cartoon, there are worse movies than Kung Fu Panda out there. I would say like a lot of the DreamWorks stuff, like How to Train Your Dragon, Kung Fu Panda, Shrek, it's all fairly solid. I mean, I don't need to see any more of these, especially the Shrek franchise. But there's a reason why these are popular and crowd pleasers and make money because they're pretty well made.
Yeah, for the last movie that we saw that was animated, Neil forced me to go theaters for was Addams Family. That's the animated one.
You poor unfortunate. Well, actually, I was thinking more of the Hotel Transylvania movies. Ugh. They make money, but boy, are they terrible.
Are you ready?
Sorry, you don't like animated films. I like animated films. Actually,
whatever. You and Alexis start a pod
because Watchmen just came out today. Advertised. Yeah.
Ugh.
R-rated Watchmen where they actually follow the comic book this time. Yeah.
The Squid Monster at the end.
Anyway.
Anything good about the Watchmen was the HBO series that dealt with the Oklahoma.
Talking about death. Let's talk about Shelley Duvall.
Duvall?
Yeah. Duvall. Who's Duvall?
It's not Cecil DeVille there, pal.
Yeah.
It's Shelley Duvall.
You guys fucked with me. Duvall. Shelley Duvall passed away today at the age of 85.
She was 85.
75, I'm sorry. What?
I bid 105.
So my brother,
she was 75 years old.
My brother, he couldn't understand.
But the thing is, this is not what she looks like anymore. This is what she looked like.
Yes, because people age and look old.
My brother,
especially when you get like mentally disturbed and fucking your brain broken from a director.
But my brother, he watched The Shining, and he's like, "How does anyone find Shelley Duvall attractive at all? Even she's hideous."
I think Shelley Duvall's an attractive lady. That's not fair.
Yeah, I think she's attractive, and I think that's just rude.
Neil Yover is olive oil, right?
And last but not least, there's another death. There's another death in the family today. The one, the only, sad to say, but is now dead. Redbox. That popped up on its own. This computer program is messing up. Redbox is now dead. As of today, all the Redbox places will be dismantled. They're taking them down. Redbox has now joined Blockbuster. There's no place to rent videos ever again except for online from here on
I remember
out.
like 20 years ago.
This is my Redbox right here.
But so that means if a nuclear bomb drops and the internet no longer can be used, we have no way of watching any media.
That's my first fucking concern if Skynet launches missiles at us. Oh no! I don't know where to get the food or clean water.
It is to me.
But can we rent a family affair?
So I gotta say about Redboxes. Like 20 years ago, I was like, "This shit's the future," and then 10 years later, I'm like, "This shit's not the future." Like I was like you can rent a movie from a fucking kiosk, and then 10 years after that, I'm like, I've been watching shit on Netflix since they basically offered it, and I haven't been Redbox in fucking years.
I can remember the day I discovered you could watch online movies on Netflix. Like when they started that transition of online movies, I'm like, I'm never leaving the fucking house.
Yeah,
I was ahead of the curve.
I was too mad because I was I cut cable, and for the first 5 years, no one knew what the fuck Roku was. I'm like, I have one, you know. So I got to watch a lot of fucking movies that people had no idea how to give because Netflix had a shitty catalog at first.
Fuck you both! I had a laser disc.
Oh.
Yeah, so did
I got a big ass laser disc.
Yeah, so did my dad and all his friends that fought in Vietnam. You old fuck.
Is that in the news? Neil, is that the end of the news? Is that the end of the news, Neil? Can you hear me, Mark?
I can hear you just fine. I don't know if he's fucking with you or not.
Okay.
He's having all kinds of technical problems tonight.
I know. That's strange. I mean, usually it's me that's fucking up because this machine goes in the. Can you hear us now?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Now. All right.
Thanks, Undertaker.
All right. So, are we done with the news, or do we have more?
Yeah, we've been done with the news for a while. You guys just kept going. This is the Movies Don't Suck and Some of the News. My name's Neil, and I had to read stuff to two assholes that just kept talking and talking.
It's not fair.
Hopefully, we'll talk about the movie we're talking about.
It's not fair. They participate fully in the segment I created.
All right. MaXXXine, directed by Ty West. He directed.
Oh, I love you guys.
MaXXXine.
What?
MaXXXine, directed by.
What?
What?
I try to push this into my skull every time. Okay, so MaXXXine.
What?
Directed by Ty West.
Asshole.
Directed by Ty West.
Wait. What? All right, Chris, from the bottom. Let's go for it.
MaXXXine, directed by Ty West. He directed such things as The House of the Devil, Innkeepers, and of course, X and Pearl. Now he's back with the third movie in the X trilogy, MaXXXine. This stars the wonderful Mia Goth as MaXXXine.
Boner under the table right now. Bet you.
Sploosh, man. or swing or whatever they say. Mia Goth. Yeah, thanks, dude. MaXXXine thinks with Mia Goth.
She'll go wrong when people find out what you've done.
And then, of course, there's sorry, here, pull this up. Kevin Bacon plays John Lavitt.
I decided that when someone is as smart and as driven as you are.
This also stars Giancarlo Esposito as Teddy Knight Esquire.
I have created the next generation dark trooper suit.
Also, Elizabeth Debicki plays Elizabeth Bender.
Well, it was touching, really. I'd never seen a girl so in love with her husband.
Uwe Latifu plays Shepard Turi.
I'm your son, and you're gonna train me. What you think you got to offer?
Also, this stars as Moses Sumney, the great musician Moses Sumney plays Leon. This has Halsey as Tabby Martin. This stars Bobby Cannavale is one of the detectives, and you recognize a lot of faces in this. You know, why don't you go read the storyline for MaXXXine?
In 1980s Hollywood, adult film star and aspiring actress MaXXXine Minx finally gets her big break. But as a mysterious killer stalks the starlets of Hollywood, a trail of blood threatens to reveal her sinister past.
Without Mia Goth being so good, this is not nearly as it is, but she's amazing in this.
I said to you guys earlier, this is my favorite movie of this year so far. Like right now, this is number one. I have one quibble about this movie, but I'll get to my quibble after I gush. Mm-hmm. This movie had everything I ever want in a movie. This had sex, this had sleaze, this had New Orleans, this had murder, and like not weird murder, but just normal murder. Like this was a detective.
Wait. Normal murder? Let's talk about some balls there for a second for saying that.
Oh, right. With the stepped-on balls? Because that was a fun scene. No, I absolutely loved this movie. Ty West really handled this period piece about, a porn actress trying to transition into horror movies with a lot of love and care. And this was the kind of thing where like you really pay attention to an era and a style and an aesthetic, and you put it all out there, and it came together so well. Like I smiled from ear to ear. It's one of those things where it's so much easier for me to talk about things I hate than it is the things I love, because I sound like the kind of people I don't like, which is I just want to tell you how much I love this movie over and over and over again. Mia Goth, something I wanted to ask Chris about.
Yeah.
We had a conversation on, I think it was the Abigail podcast about who do you think the new Scream Queen is? Like the modern day Scream Queen. Is it Mia Goth? Is it what's her nuts from Wednesday? Or is it Melissa Barrera?
Jenna Ortega.
Yeah.
Jenna Ortega, yeah.
By far, Jenna Ortega. By far.
The Alexis and Robert both said Mia Goth.
Because you got to scream to be a Scream Queen.
I think it's Mia Goth.
And Mia Goth has never screamed in any of
have
these
you
movies.
seen Infinity Pool? That's all she's doing.
Screaming. Yeah, she definitely has, I feel like, that like Sigourney Weaver, Jamie Lee Curtis, like aura to her, where she's under duress, she's under fire from whatever the horror monster is, but she can handle her own, and she's a badass.
Yeah.
And she's a badass without being an Amazon or shrill or just annoying. She's a dainty girl, but as a dainty girl, she's holding her own and she's kicking a lot of ass, and I love it. Kevin Bacon as the swarmy
good.
New Orleans PI. Oh my God, I could have listened to him read the dictionary. He's so good in this.
Yeah, actually, I just saw an interview where he did it, and it was for Beverly Hills Cop, but it was still an interview that he did. And he was like, the reason that things draw to me is like I get to be a completely different character every time. I don't want to play the same guy over and over again. And that's why he said, I did this. He goes, I did Beverly Hills Cop the same time I was filming MaXXXine. And he goes, so it's like one day I'm like, I'm the cop guy that's with, Eddie Murphy. And then the next day I'm like the sleaze ball dude. It's like,
the one thing
the
one thing I love about the MaXXXine trilogy is each one is different. This one, the X is kind of like you Texas Chainsaw Massacre sort of feel from it.
Yeah.
Pearl, I can't even fucking describe. We can't feel you get from that one. But with the third one, you get straight up 80s feel, and it's authentic too. It doesn't.
I'm so happy it took 3 films for Ty West to actually get it right. Thank you. About time you got it right.
Here's my I have 2 quibbles with MaXXXine, and one is a comparison to X, because X. One of the reasons why I liked X so much was because it talked about sex and aging. It talked about agency. It talked about, women owning their own sex. There was a conversation about the use of porn in people's lives. Like X, when they weren't killing people with an alligator or doing gross stuff with old people, the movie really dug into, and it's funny, I heard the critically acclaimed guys talk about X and they really dismissed a lot of it. And I'm like, and they thought it was like a very surface movie. And I'm like, it's not shallow at all.
Yeah.
There's so much deep conversation going on in X that they pepper with these really fun kills. And like, I don't know how as a critic you miss that. So to getting on with MaXXXine, my problem with MaXXXine is it doesn't really speak to a lot of that. It kind of just takes you on this adventure with her, and it wraps things up rather nicely, I guess. And it's one of those where that's why I'm having such a difficult time talking about it. It's one of those movies where visually it's all working, aesthetically it's all working, but then if I try to dig into it, I go through it like a fork through paper. Yeah, there's not much here underneath the surface.
There's not a lot to be said when you have these 2 dense movies, or these movies that say a lot, and you get someone that doesn't.
I was gonna say, look at like the final monologue that happens in Pearl. Where, my God, her monologue at the end of Pearl is everything I've ever heard every woman say to me. Like just that, just the kinds of things she's talking about like wanting to, have freedom and agency and not having it. And I don't remember all of it, but I remember thinking that when I watched it, like, oh my God, this is incredible. And then she does the Joker face at the end of the fucking movie.
My wife thinks that Pearl doesn't work unless that last thing happens. I walked out of that like pretty happy with all 3 of these. I feel like I was expecting something from different MaXXXine. I don't know what. Yeah. So I was a little bit disappointed.
I thought he would say he had something to say with X. He had something to say with Pearl, and he had nothing to say with MaXXXine.
Yeah, he wrapped it up, I guess. But the thing is, like, I walked out a little bit disappointed. But as I'm ruminating on and thinking about more, I like this more the more I think about it. And I kind of want to see it again.
Like I said, if I don't have to interpret it as literature, it's fine.
Yeah.
If I can sort of appreciate the style and technical qualities of the movie, it's fine. Once I start trying to dig into it, it's not as good as the first 2. The only other thing I'm going to add to this is this is the other quibble. I didn't love that the horror monster was can I give away the ending?
No, we don't do spoilers here, bro.
Fuck. Well, then I don't.
We don't do spoilers since episode 28, or if it's a comic book movie.
We actually got the things we don't get emails about. We actually got emails about that.
That was the most hatred we got from people was spoilers.
All right,
fair enough. All right. So I'll just say this: I don't love the reveal of the horror monster. I think it's kind of. I think it structurally didn't work, but it is what it is. Go ahead.
Neil, you've been wanting to say stuff, so I'm gonna let you do that.
Oh yeah. You guys just talked for the last 22 minutes. It's fine. I guess I put like 5 words in there. We can count them. All right. So this is my thing. Is like, I think there's a reason why MaXXXine doesn't say anything, because each of the other ones did, because each one of them was a reflection of that time era and that kind of genre of movie. And even the cinematography was 100% on like it was grainy and dark, like a 70s horror movie. And Pearl was like bright colors and bright accents, like the 1950s when color vision just came around and stuff like that. MaXXXine is like an 80s movie where they don't got shit to say about nothing until this die.
Boy, was it the most entertaining decade in cinema.
Oh yeah, by any means. We're talking like Friday the 13th, Halloween, Nightmare on Elm Street, Slumber House
Halloween
Party,
had something to say though,
Massacre.
personally.
What?
I think Halloween had
no, but
something
he's
to say.
saying like when he's underscoring my point about the Hollywood in the 80s just was like an explosion of wildly entertaining shallow films.
Okay, fair enough.
Yes, and that's what I think this movie was reflecting. That since it was in the 80s, that it was supposed to be a shallow like film, but at the same time, it did wrap up every storyline that went on in the other 2 movies. So it did give us that wraparound again, and plus we got the Bates Hotel.
Yeah,
like at one point, which I thought was just really awesome. I couldn't find any pictures of that, but if you look at just like how the color and how
David Bowie, right?
Great David Bowie.
I know, like I was thinking very Stardust and stuff like that.
Yeah,
but if you just look at the film itself, it's just so like the coloring on it and like how it's filmed, that it just looks like ridiculously like it's from the 80s. I feel like all part of this is from the 80s. Like that is obviously from the. Oh, wait a minute, that's just your huge cock that you like.
100%. I think you're brilliant and you hit the nose right on the head with that. I think it's reflecting this now that you said it out loud. I think it is reflecting the shallowness of the 80s. That the 80s was a lot of pomp and circumstance and glitz and glamour
and blow
and so much cocaine.
So much cocaine,
but not a lot underneath the surface.
Cocaine.
It was the decade of excess, and I think the movie does reflect that.
Neil, that was really insightful. So thanks for the. It makes me. It makes me like it even more now. You know,
it's like I know something about pop culture.
I didn't think you didn't, man. I was
Don't ruin it with being passive aggressive. You're a good boy.
I was supposed to.
But that's
you're supposed to thank you, Chris.
That's my entire stick. But yeah, by any means, Mia Goth knocked it out of the park. Kevin Bacon, dude whose name I fuck up constantly, and I'm going to try it right now.
Giancarlo Esposito.
Gus, yeah, I fuck up names ever since the brain damage
that's
thing,
also a stick of the show, is that Neil will mispronounce something at least once during the show.
Oh no,
ever since brain damage, it like
you haven't lived until
names.
You've heard Robert tease me about me not being able to pronounce foreign names, which was great when you do an MMA show, by the way.
But anyway. Well, let me finish my point and then you can jump in. But musically, oh man, soundtrack to the Betty Davis Eyes. I mean, like all the music they had going into it. I love the fact of the look behind the scenes, the backlot, dark Hollywood during the night. I love how the Night Stalker works right into the whole storyline of this. I think by far, I will have to agree with you guys on this one. I don't know what movie. There's only one movie I know that we're going to probably knock this out. And we all know what it is.
You think it's Deadpool and Wolverine?
I know it's Deadpool and Wolverine because as much as I try not to look at spoilers and try to stay away from everything Deadpool Wolverine, you know how many little hints of stuff I've gotten that I'm just like, fuck, I'm going to probably end up jerking off at the movie theater again.
Again. So what was the first one was 50 Shades, right? The first one you're dropping?
No.
Was it Pee-wee's Big Adventure?
Yeah.
No. It was Nightmare on Elm Street 3 during the nurse with the tongues and
I can see that.
That's the only Nightmare on Elm Street we've done on the podcast was Dream Warriors. Yeah, I can't believe
we never covered any Nightmare on Elm Street.
we did Dream Warriors. I remember it was back when we teased doing like old films and decided until we were fucking around with formats early on.
That's when we were doing it once every 2 weeks, and now we do it once every week.
Yeah, Neil got mad at me for switching it to every week, and he's like, "What the fuck's wrong with you? I have no time."
I don't.
All right, well, here we are every week.
Here we are. Anyway, continue. Now, what was your thought?
Ty West, I really want to see what he does next, because he piqued everyone's interest, House of the Devil, and then Keepers was okay, but then next came out, and I became like a super fan of this motherfucker.
Wait, you want to see what he does next? The motherfucker's already House of the Devil, Cabin Fever 2, The Innkeepers, VHS, ABCs of Death. South of Hell, Dream the TV season, Wayward Pines. Exorcist. The Resident. Jesus Christ, what more do you want from the guy?
I want everything.
He can retire at this point. At this point, he can be done.
I want him to make a Pixar film, and it's what happens with your sex toys when you leave the room.
That's amazing.
Oh my gosh! That became a whole different termination to Woody.
This guy gets it.
Look at that Buzz Lightyear over there. Wait, someone put away Slinky. Anyway,
it's like a fucking cat of nine tails is meowing at you.
So Neil, do you want to give your score on this?
Damn. Out of 5. Man, this is like right up my alley. It's right up all our alleys. So like 4.8.
Oh wow. I'm going 4.4 on this one, but I really like MaXXXine.
I really love this. This is like one of those
2 snaps and a kiss.
You fucking asshole. But this is one of those. Okay, my thing is always rewatchability. This to me is like a Nightmare on Elm Street. Like I feel like this is a movie. Like if the VHS stopped, I'd rewind it and hit play again. And just
I don't repeat anything on Radulich Broadcasting Network, no matter how many times one of my dumb shit friends was like, we should do this. Like, I've already done that. Try getting your head out of your own ass and actually look at what I've done. Like, ugh, drives me nuts. I get really angry. But like, why, let's do this again, let's do that again. I almost refuse to repeat any review I've ever done.
Yeah.
I'm gonna, even though we did X, because I did a triple feature of porn adjacent movies. So we did X, Red Rocket, and Boogie Nights, because I hadn't seen it. I want to go back and do the X trilogy as a whole. It's a long road to ruin. So I got that later this year. And
they're really good movies, at least.
Yeah. I want to talk about the whole thing as a whole, and it's worth me going back and talking about X again. I never got to review Pearl in the first place, and talking about this again. But it also, that speaks to how much I enjoyed it that I'm willing to redo a review. Because I can talk about this more, and I have a lot more to say about it. So I don't mind going back and doing it again, which is a rare thing for me.
I don't want to buy movies anymore unless they're like a special edition or something that's cool. I would definitely buy the 3-pack of this. Like, yeah, because they're just so fucking good. I've talked. My wife didn't like X. She was okay with MaXXXine, but she really liked Pearl. But I liked all 3 of these movies, and I can't wait. I'm so excited about seeing MaXXXine. I might go see it again this weekend. Fuck. But I got that AMC pass with Nicole Kidman. I can see her at the beginning of it. But I actually come back, Neil.
He's got to go look at naked pictures of Nicole Kidman in private.
But Neil, come back, dude. Sit down. Oh, he wants to show off his chair.
Why is he hitting things with a chair?
But you don't do our score thing, but are you one day to say you loved the MaXXXine?
I loved it. Right now, I would say like it's in my top 5 along with Axel F. Oh gosh, I can't remember what else I saw this year that I absolutely adored.
It's up there with my Late Night at the Devil, which is probably my favorite movie this year.
Oh, Late Night at the Devil.
Yeah, Robert and Alexis saw it, reviewed it, raved about it. I haven't seen it.
Oh man, I'm gonna send you a copy of it.
Late Night with the Devil is freaking sexy as shit.
Yeah.
Like I at this point, now I actually have like 5 movies I think that will actually fight for like the top 5 positions of 2024. Because before this movie, I was like, yeah, I guess we got like 3 movies and Deadpool Wolverine still coming out, so I guess that's gonna be number 1. But now I got some people to fight about.
Yeah, I mean, I remember liking Dune a lot. I don't remember saying a whole lot bad about Dune. I enjoyed the shit out of the Fall Guy.
Yeah,
I was sad I didn't do as well.
I did too. I love the Fall Guy.
Yeah,
I really feel like people don't give Bullet Train and Fall Guy enough credit.
Bad boys, what you want?
Going all the way back to January, I love The Beekeeper. I gushed about The Beekeeper.
Oh yeah. We saw The Beekeeper. Yeah.
Chris, what's the?
I'm gonna run to what's the critic score for MaXXXine?
Chris, stay on track.
Do your fucking job, Chris.
I'm on RunTomatoes.com. What's the
Stop talking on a podcast?
I know. Sorry. Neil, what's the audience score for MaXXXine?
81%.
78%. You're close.
Damn it.
Okay, what's the critic consensus for MaXXXine? How was the critic
12.
score? Give me a real number.
I mean, I don't know what the fuck they said. I can guess. Hey, it's a movie. We went and watched it. Let's see. Man, they're gonna piss me off. I'm gonna say 82%.
Certified Fresh at 74%. Yeah.
74.
Critic consensus is intoxicating.
Who ass raped him as a child?
Know,
like
right?
literally.
Calm
What
down.
the hell, people?
Critic consensus is intoxicating with his maximal style. MaXXXine is an uneven but vibrant pastiche that drives a stiletto through Hollywood's heart. And yeah.
God. I stop getting artificial intelligence to write your fucking plot synopsis. God damn it, Rotten Tomatoes.
Okay, so this is from
I know it's getting kind of bad at this point where we keep on reading shit and it's just like, really? Nobody was creative enough to write
every
this
week on
stuff?
Damn You Hollywood. Robert and I are like bad AI. Oh my god, the use of alliteration and puns. Ugh.
So this is from Emma Vine of Culturist. She says, in a nutshell, fails to give the star of the movie that she deserves and ultimately favors her style over substance. Go fuck yourself, Emma. And this from we Thomas the timeout.
First 20 minutes in, she stomps on a guy's balls at gunpoint. She'll be fine.
Yeah. Wu Thomas from Timeout says, with a rolling soundtrack full of 80s faves like Frankie Goes to Hollywood and ZZ Top, bold fluorescent sets and Hollywood locations and outside performances, MaXXXine wraps up West's trilogy in killer style. All 3 of us really like this movie. Go see it in theaters. If you haven't seen X or Pearl, fucking watch those and then go see MaXXXine. Because
fucking see those motherfuckers and watch these. That's what it, Chris.
Stop watching fucking bullshit like A Family Affair and go see a fucking movie like MaXXXine.
Yeah.
You motherfuckers.
Yeah. If we come away from this, go see MaXXXine. You don't have to watch A Family Affair.
Watch it, and then after you watch this, go watch The Boys because that shit's pretty good right now. The new season of The Boys has been. We caught up last night. Oh my god.
Yeah, I haven't watched it. Well, reviewing it at the end of the month, and I'll binge it before we review it.
Wait,
but
I have no idea.
Every season of The Boys.
Oh my god, they're like you've heard about the conservative hate about this fucking Boys, right?
Yes, I have. Mm-hmm.
No, they have every reason for it. Their boop boop reflects exactly some stuff, and me and my wife are like, oh yeah, we get it. Yeah, we totally get that. Like,
great.
The Bear's good too. Make sure to watch The Bear.
Watch The Bear.
Yeah, Alexis and I are going to start reviewing The Bear in a couple of months.
I mean, it's It's not better. It's not as good as 1 or 2. I mean, this season's kind of like.
We're gonna do at some point. We're doing The Offer on Paramount Plus, which was about
I saw The Offer. The Offer did pretty decent.
Yeah, if you want to come on with me and Alexis, we're going to review. I've been waiting to talk with somebody about that. So we're going to do that, and then after that, Alexis and I are going to review the first 3 seasons of The Bear.
What about Suits? Let's review Suits.
Please don't make me do that.
I will. We'll work it into the schedule, Neil. I promise, because that's on my list of things to watch.
Can you catch up all 9 seasons?
Yeah, it's going to be a while.
Yeah. Yes, find some line.
I'm sorry, dude.
Neil, you're with long legs next week, right?
What?
You're with long legs. Long legs.
Why are we doing this?
He told you not to do the schedule cast on the air.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
Yeah, I'm not doing this long leg shit. I'm sorry. We're doing Despicable Me 3.
We'll see you guys. You find something who's. You can find something who's on suck.net. We're at WTMnet.com to find us there along with a bunch of cool podcasts. We're on Facebook, Facebook.com/podcast. We're on Twitter. I'm sorry, XMC Podcast. I'm sorry, I'm a little drunk now. Instagram it. We're on Instagram at XTS Podcast.
Mongo got podcast.
Yeah. Patreon.com/SmoothZoneSuck.
Mongo say Joe Henry appear.
I hate that you're doing this so fucking accurately. Bothers me. Bonfire.com/SmoothZoneSuck and something to do. You'll find our search there along with stuff that Neil's made. I think we're on T-Bo with Neil.
We would just pop my girlfriend.
By the way, I closed my eyes. I think I fell asleep for a second.
Why did you? Who's popping your girlfriend? That's
we did doing the Mongo thing.
Oh shit!
I guarantee you, the whole podcast is like boring. He hears me go Mongo. She's like, that's my boyfriend.
We're also everywhere you find podcasts. Everywhere you find podcasts and movies on the deal. I want you to give your deets out, Mark.
Okay. So the landing page for all of our podcasts is W2Mnet.com. Look, all I really care about is my TikTok at this point. So I'm at Mark Radulich, right there on the screen. If you're listening to traditional audio, it's MarkRadulich. On TikTok, you can see clips of 10 to 30-minute clips of any one of my podcasts. There'll be clips of this podcast when Neil gets off his fucking ass and sends me the video. He's got nothing else going on. I don't know why it takes so long.
You guys know I actually work in like radio and
work in radio.
I don't get paid for this. I just show up. And
no one cares about your intern at your little radio station there.
Not an intern. I work in promotion, you dick.
Anywho, and then there's also skits that my son does, or bits, or whatever, concert footage of shit that concerts when I used to go. All that's on my TikTok. If you actually want to hear the whole podcast, we are on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever else you find your traditional audio under Radulich in Broadcasting, just like Excellence in Broadcasting, but Radulich instead. We're on YouTube at W2M Network. We're on Twitch, W2M Network. So check us out. Along with the Radulich and Broadcasting stuff is Games to the Max, which is my partner Sean's video game review podcast. Source Material, which is my buddy Jesse's stuff, where he reviews comic books. So all your media covered. This past week, we reviewed Despicable Me 3. Quit muscling in on our fucking territory. The week prior, we reviewed Inside Out 2. I think next week is Twisters. And then finally at the end of the month is Deadpool and Wolverine.
All right, cool. Neil, what do your small businesses? We do that. Okay. I'll see you guys. I'll see you guys.
All right. Small business. If you got one, if you need one, if you got one that you want to promote right here on the podcast to our thousands of listeners, our millions of followers, just send us the info. We'll be more than happy to advertise you free of charge. Unless Mark's on here, he takes $10. I think it is. $10 I think he's $10 in a reach around. I can't remember all of it, but anyway,
in that
Mongo advertise. Anyway.
Mongo supports small business.
Get a hold of us. We'll be more than happy to support you right here on Movies Don't Suck and Some to Do.
I like the delay in that.
I swear the delay is the fucking best.
That is the best.
Are you guys ready to get out of here?
Yes. So that's another episode of Movies Don't Suck and Some Do. My name's Neil.
I'm Chris.
I'm Mark.
And remember, guys, no matter how hard you try in life, remember, unless you can get your stepbrother and your stepmom in the same room with you, it will never be a family affair. Have a good night.